We had a letter writing campaign that's still not over. People have written letters. We have a form letter to Eric Holder giving some of the reasons why he should conduct a civil rights campaign. In fact, we cite the example when Eric Holder came into the office, one of the first things he did was overturn the conviction of Ted Stevens, Senator Ted Stevens, the millionaire, corrupt politician. And he, you know, his civil rights were guaranteed. They had withheld evidence of that could have led to his acquittal from the defense, and Eric Holder spoke very forcefully how that was outrageous, and he would not sanction that kind of violation of civil rights. Well, we say if you can do it for Ted Stevens, you can certainly do it for a great revolutionary brother, known and loved around the world, named Mumia Abu Jamal.
So we are here today feeling very strong. We've gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of letters from all over the world addressed to Eric Holder. When I left my house this morning at 3:45 from New York City, the emails were still arriving.
I'm saying, you know, Mumia's not on trial here. We are. It's what we want to accept, because you see, Mumia's not accepting none of this. That's why he's sitting on death row. That's why the Move 9 sits on death row. That's why Geronimo Pratt sits on death row. Sundiata Acoli on death row when you give a person life in prison. Assata Shakur in exile, and there's many, many more in France and all over the world. But why are they there? Because they dared stand up.
So we have a principled position against the death penalty. We see that in case after case, the government proves that it does not have that it does not deserve the right to take human life, particularly when it is controlled by human beings who are subject to so much bias and so much error. So I'm here today to resound our concerns in the case of Mumia Abu Jamal.
In short, his case represents one of the most egregious and politically charged cases of political imprisonment in the world today.
What if the tables were turned and it was me or a loved one? Then I think you would stop and study this case. We have innocent men and women sitting in jail waiting for help from us people who they still have hope in. So please, let's all join together and correct the mistakes that were made and making things right again. Let's help bring them home. In my conclusion, I pray for justice for my father, my uncles, and Mumia Abu Jamal, and all political prisoners in America.
My name is Richard Casali, as Susan just mentioned. The International Action Center stand in solidarity with our sisters and brothers in this fight to end almost 3 decades of injustice against our brother Mumia. The reason he is in prison and on death row is to silence his voice. It is that simple. Eric Holder, if the name of your office has any meaning, Mumia will be with us soon because he's innocent. End the death penalty now.
When I heard about the case of Mumia Abu Jamal, it was a common history that we have in Haiti.
Aujourd'hui, le monde doit observer la justice américaine.
Right now, the world should observe American justice.
Parce que l'administration américaine a toujours intervenu à travers le monde pour établir l'ordre et la démocratie.
Because the United States is supposed to stand for democracy.
C'est pourquoi le monde doit exiger les États-Unis une démocratie et une justice pour tous.
And that's why the world should demand that the United States proceed in a democratic way.
We're now going to see a video sent to us by the committee, the coalition to free Mumia Abu Jamal in Berlin.
An investigation into the case of Mumia Abu Jamal is long overdue. Mumia always gave voice to the marginalized. His guilt was never proven. 27 years on death row for this journalist is an outrage. We welcome and support this petition, and we hope that Justice Minister Eric Holder and the Obama administration are wise enough to look into this matter.
I bring you greetings from the largest and the oldest, the baddest and the boldest, the most loved and most hated, the most feared and revered, the most cussed and discussed civil rights organization in America. I bring you greetings from the Baltimore City branch, NAACP.
And so the white people who were on the jury were there as a result of some illegally, racially bigoted affirmative action program to have the jury as white as possible so that Mumia would have as unfair a trial as possible. That's unfair, that's a violation of due process, that's a violation of Mumia's Sixth Amendment rights, and the courts all agree to that, but in Mumia's case, they said that even though the law wasn't as clear at the time of Mumia's trial, so he couldn't have raised it as strongly as he could today, or in other words, clearly we could in 2009. He couldn't have raised it as clear as he could have in 1991 as we can in 2009. But the law is so important that they apply it retroactively. That even though they apply it retroactively in every other case, they won't do it for Mumia. So one judge in the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in Philadelphia, a Judge Hamburg, I'm not sure if I knew him personally or he knew me personally, we'd be good friends, but I will admit, and I will admit this and be thankful for this. He had the moral courage to say the law protects Mumia from that sort of racist bigotry, and the government was wrong when they treated him like that. But the other judges,
this whole system is busted. All of us know that, you know, so telling you that is not necessary. You know, it'd be like preaching to the choir. But I'm here to represent Riverside Church in Harlem, Manhattan. And we want y'all to know that we stand firmly behind Mumia Abu Jamal, and just as we stood behind Nelson Mandela, and just as we always support the civil rights struggles and all the struggles for social justice, social and political justice in this country.
And I'm proud to be here again with everyone here to stand for justice and to say now is the time. Yes, we should take it to the Justice Department, take it to Eric Holder. We need to demand a civil rights investigation because the lies and the frame-up needs to be exposed, and we need to bring Mumia home now to be on this panel with us.
So I say to you that the issue of Mumia Abu Jamal is extremely troubling to us. Because if you know anything about the Puerto Rican people, there are 4 million Puerto Ricans in this country as a result of colonialism. And when we came to this country, we came to share our lives in the oppressed communities in this country. And you know, we come in all shades, we're mestizo people. Okay, we're the product of indigenous, African, and European blood, the end result of the colonization of the Americans. And so when they come into our communities, they don't ask us, are you an American, are you not an American, are you an immigrant, but actually nowadays they don't think we're all Mexicans, you know, and that's their attitude at this point. But my point is that they just as soon kill an African American and a Puerto Rican than an undocumented immigrant. And that's how we've lived in this country since we arrived here. And so the issue that brought Mumia and the fight back that brought Mumia into the situation that he finds himself today in is the same situation that we are living in this country. And let me, by the way, say also in Puerto Rico.
We know that it is wrong to kill an innocent person. It's wrong to kill a guilty person. But darn it, it's darn sure wrong to kill an innocent person. So they take it, they write on a piece of paper, and they say it, and they tell us it's law. And we, like fools, go by and abide by this stuff. Just like people abided by the law of slavery. Just because it's legal, don't mean it's right. Just because it's legal, don't mean it's right. God in Africa instilled that in us, and we instill it in our children. You can only respect that which is right. We don't give a darn about that.
I want to make sure that everybody knew that this is not the last step. We don't stop until we win. We don't stop until Mumia is home.